So a little trivia question for you. In the human spine, how many lumbar vertebrae do you normally have? Hopefully you're going to say 5. And that's true for the majority of the population. But, and as I discovered on myself and my 2 sons, I actually have 6 lumbar vertebrae. And you can check that out by getting a full x-ray of your spine, etc. So what that means is that even though I've gone through years of all these yoga body practices and opened up my back and done a lot of what you'd call a sort of advanced bending, that still doesn't guarantee me any good back health moving ahead in life. So whatever stage you're at, and for me, it's knowing that I have an extra lumbar down here, so it's a little bit more compacted. So I have been extra vigilant to take care of my spine, of my back. And what that means is, you see the pelvis here, either side of the pelvis and how it relates to the sacrum. So these 2 joints, sacroiliac joints, on many go a little bit off. And when you go to the chiropractor, that's what they're working to fix, to realign on you. But what I've found is by doing just a few very select yoga poses every day, I keep that pelvis with the sacrum, with the spine aligned, and I basically remove what could be very strong back bend or compression in the back, especially given my own condition with 6 vertebrae, right? So our aim is to balance and lengthen and stabilize, okay? So I'm just going to give a very simple routine. It's part of what I'll do each day. If I stay in this position, you'll get to see both angles, okay? And it's 3 to 4 minutes, okay? So relax your shoulders, ground your feet. Stability comes from below the navel. That will even like kind of root you down so that elongates, even by millimeters, elongating the lumbar into sacrum. So I'm just going to swing my arms, ground my feet, and as I swing, they come up on an inhale. Now I can bend the knees, that's always better for the back anyway, open the arms, I rotate them, and really now I'm focusing on pulling back in the lower abdomen. But look, I keep my knees bent so I don't strain the back, okay? And it's actually much smarter to do for the legs, but that's a different topic. Now I'm going to come up, lengthen, so I'm lengthening my spine. That means I'm pushing out through the tailbone and I'm lengthening the spine through the heart, crown of the head. And then you can do that a lot on an inhale. See, on the exhale, I could kind of bounce a bit. Inhale, lengthen. Now exhale, I can work my legs a bit. And how long you stay here, or after a few of these, you would feel more open. But anyway, this is just part of our movement process. Ground your hands. If it's difficult, put them far. If it's easy, put them closer. But you step back. Of course, some of you might like to hop back. Inhale. Get to this, again, strong plank position. That can make your core right there stable. And maybe I'll make it simple, put my knees down, a little bend. And I'm going to go very slowly as I lift the heart. And I pretty much wiggle my pelvis. And I'm very focused on the lumbar into the sacrum. That means I'm pushing my tailbone that way down towards my toes so I can have a bit of length. And even now with the knees on the floor, I can kind of do this, what you might call almost reptile walking movement, see? And that helps me open up the front of the top of the leg. And now I'm lifting my heart. Good. And then that'll be enough. I'm just going to push back so I've got the length in the back, okay? Now you could go through that a few times, okay, if that helps. For me, first thing in the morning, just doing a bit of this is really therapeutically relieving and quite delicious, okay? And what that is this area opens up, see? Which is, again, if you have certain issues going on with the back, that either because of this or affected by that is going to get tight and add to the pain that can build up in the middle of the body. So then I'm back on all fours and I'm going to go to what is a typical type of yoga pose, just the dog. Okay? And, you know, I like to get in the happy dog, so you're shaking, you move. Well, again, what am I trying to do here? I want to get space between the vertebrae. See? And then I'm going to use my legs to power that. See? Then you can stay, of course, longer there. You can work the breath there. So now, let's say it's difficult for you. I can keep the left heel up and I'm going to swing the right foot, come to my fingertips, like I'm starting to run a race or something. And then aim to see if you can put down the back heel, keep the spine long. Pop up, pop up. See, I'm letting my front leg almost straighten. Right? Now, my pelvis stays open. I'm going to just turn my chest a bit, see? Now, I've got this front leg almost straight, so I don't have the weight and pressure on the pelvis or lower back yet. And then now I'm going to push in the back leg, not the front leg, the back leg. Okay, and as I push in the back leg, I let the front knee bend. But again, not much. And then I can just swing these arms up, or I can take them up like that. They can be open. Inhale. And again, this is just part of the process. So I'm going to lift now. And I'm going to turn open, so my body's turned 90 degrees and pelvis is turned 90 degrees. And I'm in this kind of springy, what many will come to know as like a warrior two position, okay? Good. Now again, it's expressive. You're getting into different parts of the body and the center, so you can open up, right? This opens up the side body, but I'm keeping stable at the pelvis, stable in the spine. I can then reach, turn, that means I've got spine support, I lengthen and I rotate, and I can just put my elbow on my knee and I can take the other arm up, okay? And I can reach it out. Now if I reach it out and collapse, then I've collapsed here and I'm actually putting more pressure in the back due to collapse. So, though I make contact with my elbow, I'm lifting, lengthening, and then I rotate, turn, and the arm adds or accentuates that. And I can work with the breath here. And if you want, you could take that into a little bit of movement where you open up and then you come back, lengthen, rotate, reach. Now for some of you, you'd stay here, or some of you might put your fingers on a block down, or you can reach the floor. And then, you know, you can roll on the shoulder, you can keep the hand on the hip, and you're just going to work with the front leg. Okay, and if that's too much, just stay with the knee bent, and we go one more time, breathe. So you can keep your elbow on your knee, or you could go to the levels I have just gone to. Now you're going to turn. If you're here, you're going to turn, you're going to face the floor, and you're going to touch both fingers, turn the back foot, put the knee down. So what we've done so far is a build up to the, what I might call the crux of it, the chiropractic adjustment yoga pose, okay? Now, I start off with opening up the front top of that left leg. Then I come up with my hands on there. And if I just let myself sink and collapse, that doesn't help, okay? And all you do is compress the back. So I'm actually lifting my heart, which is lengthening there, and I sink into that. Lift my heart, lengthen, cross the pelvis, lengthen the top of the leg, and I sink in, see? And some of you might be adventurous and you'd go even further. I lengthen and then I reach open. Now, whether you've just done the basic or you've just done the full that I've done, first thing I like to do is the elbow against the knee, facing pretty much it. The twist is to the open side, see? So the elbow against the knee and the knee against the elbow, see? Hands in a prayer. Now I'm going to lengthen my spine. And then they push. This elbow is pushed into the knee is pushed into the elbow. And I lengthen and I turn. And there's great force, great strength in the leg. And that translates into the pelvis and into the support of the spine. Lower abdomen, support of the spine. Good. And then I soften it. Pop up. Inhale. Now the real work comes here, and when I do it I get a nice juicy little pop, little opening space in the lower back. So follow the instruction because I'm giving extreme detail here. First, I'm going to lengthen. Never turn without lengthening. Lengthen. And that's drawn in again below the navel. Then I turn. See? So that alone is an exercise. Lengthen, turn. Lengthen, turn. Now I'm going to add a cross. Can you get the elbow there? If you found that you couldn't, you could just put the hand there. See? And you'd lengthen, and you're going to add on the twist this way. And again, see? I can push knee, hand, knee, hand. But for many of you, maybe elbow can go outside the knee. Now I'm going to lengthen. I'm not just going to turn. Most people I've observed just jump into a twist. It's got a few features to it. Lengthen, rotate, hands in a prayer. And elbow, knee, knee, elbow, push against each other. It's very strong right now in my pelvis. I'm breathing into it. I'm relaxed in my face and mouth. Now, I'm going to exhale, slowly move my head, touch the leg, and I come back. Inhale, see? Now, that might be enough for this side. If you feel you could tackle the next bit, go ahead. Personally, I'll do this as well every day, okay? And again, it's to really open up what is more or less the top of the attachment side, the quadricep tendon there. And this whole area gets quite closed on people. Hip flexor region, and of course there's other muscles that attach there. So I flip that leg up, I grab a hold, and I take that in. This will not be for everybody, but you can do the simple version we did before. Or, see, it's a little bit more short, isolated stretches, right? And there's a whole field of study on this, active isolated stretching, where I can go to the depth of it for 2 seconds, and then I release off it. Depth of it for 2 seconds, and then I release off of it. Depth of it for 2 seconds, and then I release off. I let go. Okay. Now the value is this repeated each day. And you do this a few times, and you'll know how to do it. You won't have to watch this anymore. Right? But repeat it each day, that is when the effect takes place. If you were like, I want to, quickly move through time, then you can just do this, flip the legs, okay? But maybe you're like, no, I have more time. Then you put your hands down, you step back, you wiggle, you come to the plank, you either put your knees down or not, you do the push-up style or not. You carefully, see, very carefully, reptile crawl, open up, and then knees down, lift, go back. Even it off in the dog pose, okay, which is very powerful. Okay, and we have another session on how the dog works. That is my personal daily formula to keep the health of the spine, stabilize it, and how it relates in the pelvis. And it works because I do it mostly daily. Okay, you miss 1 or 2 days here and there, but I take care of it just like brushing my teeth daily. And the effect is felt as you continue it and compound it, not because you watched this and tried this once. Okay, you might get an idea of what it's about, but the real effect comes because you repeat regularly, which is basically how yoga works. So, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you on another episode from Samahita.